When asked why he refuses to fly commercial, televangelist Kenneth Copeland explained he didn't want to get into a long tube with demons. Instead, he travels in a multi-million-dollar fleet of private jets. That aircraft is just one asset in a massive portfolio. Leaders of these tax-exempt ministries often live in sprawling mansions with dozens of chandeliers, private boathouses, and luxury cars. This wealth is not hidden. It is a highly produced spectacle, broadcast from bright sets to more than 10 million viewers through global television networks and online platforms. From the outside, the optics are jarring. These preachers are worth hundreds of millions of dollars, yet their lifestyles are funded by the consistent donations of their followers. Why do millions of people willingly open their wallets for this? The believers are looking for more than inspiration. At miracle crusades led by figures like Benny Hinn, they arrive expecting their financial devotion will grant them access to direct divine intervention for illnesses. People arrive in wheelchairs and leave walking. Tumors are supposedly cured with a tap on the forehead. If these acts aren't supernatural, we have to look closely at the room itself. What specific psychological factors are being triggered to produce these results? Understanding the event requires understanding the theology first. The core doctrine is the prosperity gospel, which centers on a concept called sowing your seed. This reframes a donation as a financial investment. In this system, giving money to the church is a transaction that obligates God to return the favor through personal wealth and physical health. Followers are primed to believe they possess a level of divinity within themselves. They are told that they have God's DNA, which gives them the power to manifest their own prosperity through their faith and their financial sacrifice. But when you move from the theology to the physical floor of a live event, that divine power is assisted by a vetting process. Before the cameras even roll, church staff known as screeners patrol the aisles. Their job is to intercept the crowd. During undercover investigations, these screeners have been caught blocking individuals with severe visible disabilities, like cerebral palsy, from joining the healing line. By filtering out conditions that are obvious to a camera lens, the ministry ensures that only people with invisible or non-verifiable ailments reach the front. This curation guarantees the illusion of a successful healing for the audience watching at home. Within the arena, the individual is swallowed by the scale. You are surrounded by thousands of people united by a single, desperate cause, creating a powerful sense of oneness and social conformity. The environment is carefully paced. The music rises and falls to stir specific emotions, guiding the united crowd into a highly suggestible, trance-like state. The event reaches its climax when the preacher lays hands on a follower. Under the command of a charismatic authority figure, the believer collapses backward into the arms of a catcher. In that moment, the follower may genuinely feel their symptoms disappear. This is the physiological reality of the placebo effect, where the brain's expectancy of a treatment causes it to produce internal chemical changes. Standing on that stage, the brain's expectation of a miracle triggers a massive surge of adrenaline. This chemical flood moves through the nervous system, temporarily masking pain and increasing physical capability. Driven by this rush and the pressure to conform in front of a stadium of witnesses, the body can momentarily override its own limitations. For a few minutes, someone can stand or even run across a stage, regardless of their condition. What is presented as a supernatural act is the predictable result of mind over body physiology, triggered by a carefully controlled environment. The tragedy of these events happens later. When the adrenaline fades and the stadium lights go out, the original chronic pain inevitably returns. In one case, a 10-year-old boy named Ashnell, who had 2 brain tumors, was brought on stage and told to expect a miracle. 7 weeks after the crusade, he passed away. When the promised physical healing fails, or when the financial windfall never arrives, the system has a way of protecting its leaders from the fallout. The theology shifts the blame onto the victim. If the miracle didn't work, the preacher claims it's because the follower had a generational curse, or simply didn't have enough faith. This creates a closed loop. When the miracle fails, the follower is told they are at fault. which often leads them to donate even more money to prove their devotion and fix their so-called curse. Ashneel's father, grieving his son, was told he needed to donate another $2,000 to the ministry. The system is designed to turn failure into a reason for further investment. It extracts capital from believers by ensuring that the responsibility for the outcome never rests with the preacher. The prosperity gospel functions as a tax-exempt system that turns human vulnerability into private jets. By leveraging biology and faith, it converts the hope of a miracle into a steady stream of capital.